Well, Toronto Police are announcing the results of an auto theft investigation right now. Let's listen in.
2022. I'm here today with Superintendent Ron Tavner, District Commander of 22 and 23 Division, to announce the final results of Project Stallion and to assure residents that the Toronto Police Service is continuing to take action against rising auto thefts in our city. In April, I announced the recovery of over 500 vehicles and over 300 charges laid against 119 people. Project Stallion continued until the end of September, and behind me today are 5 of more than 1,000 total vehicles recovered by 22 and 23 divisions since the project began. Toronto Police has also laid more than 550 charges against almost 230 people. The Criminal Intelligence Service Ontario, through funding provided by the Government of Ontario, supported Toronto Police Service's joint investigations. Superintendent Tavner will provide more details about the results of Project Stallion. But I want to note that this project represents only one of the strategic and intelligence-led initiatives the service has undertaken to tackle the ongoing problem of auto thefts in our city and across the Greater Toronto Area. We are not only taking action to recover stolen vehicles, but are working collaboratively with our partners to disrupt the networks responsible for auto thefts, which are becoming increasingly violent and high risk. Last week, we announced the creation of a provincial carjacking joint task force aimed at addressing the rising incidence of violence related to auto crimes in our communities. Co-led by the Toronto Police Service with the Ontario Provincial Police and in collaboration with police services from across the Greater Toronto Area, the task force is maximizing enforcement efforts against criminal organizations involved in violent crimes. Since the task force began, it has already been responsible for 24 arrests and 116 charges laid. Whether it be carjackings, home invasions, assaults, or other forms of intimidation, the level of violence being used in the commission of these crimes represents a new and evolving threat to public safety. This level of threat and crime is unacceptable to me as the Chief of Police. As a service, we are committed to the safety and well-being of our residents above all else. And we will continue to work in alignment with our law enforcement partners and other external agencies, including the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario, to address this serious issue. The success of this project is the result of the dedication of our investigators and their countless support staff in 22 and 23 divisions and units across the entire Toronto Police Service. I want to thank them again for their incredible work. Now, I'd like to invite Superintendent Tavner up to provide more details about the results of Project Stallion.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you everyone for coming today. As the Chief has said, Project Stallion ran from November 2022 until the end of September of this year in 22 and 23 divisions to address the spike in auto thefts and catalytic converters in Toronto's West End. As we all know, the number of auto thefts taking place across the city has increased dramatically over the past several years. They have more than doubled since 2019, making vehicle thefts a significant issue in Toronto's GTA. Thanks to the dedication of the officers from 22 and 23 Division from across the Toronto Police Service, Project Stallion has resulted in a total of 553 charges laid against 228 people. We've also recovered a total of 1,080 vehicles during this time, with a combined value of approximately $60 million. These results demonstrate how seriously we are taking this issue, but we recognize that for many people in the city, their vehicles may never be recovered, and more importantly, their feelings of safety and security have been compromised. This can happen as a result of having your car stolen out of your driveway, but even more so if you've been a victim of carjacking or other violence, which can be incredibly traumatic to victims and their loved ones. The conclusion of Project Stallion does not mark the end of our commitment to addressing the serious issue of auto theft. We want the public to know that tackling auto theft remains a top priority for the Toronto Police Service and our partner policing agencies. For the residents in 22 and 23 divisions, I want to assure you that this issue will continue to be top of mind for our officers in our community. Thank you, and we'll now take questions.
Do you guys mind using the mic? I've got a question.
Hi, Dale Manuktuk, CBC Toronto. What are the other strategic methods that Toronto Police is doing to recover or investigate stolen vehicles?
Well, there's numerous initiatives taking place across the city. We're not going to talk about getting into specifics of what they are right now, but they are right across the city. We're just highlighting what's happened in 22 and 23 division and the recovery of the over 1,000 vehicles and the arrest of the people that we've indicated.
Where are the most vulnerable places vehicles are being stolen from? Is it residential? Is it the airport? Is it TTC parking lots?
All of the above. They're all very, very vulnerable. We have nighttime driveway thefts. We have hotel thefts where people leave their vehicles for extended periods of time. Things like Woodbine Casino area, there's a large number of vehicles are stolen from there. So everything is a target of high-end vehicles mainly.
And you mentioned that we've seen an almost double in incidents since 2019. This year to date, it's again on the rise. There's over 2,000 incidents year to date compared to last year. So how can residents feel assured that Toronto Police is doing the best they can to protect them from auto thefts?
Well, there's a number of things that we're doing. We have crime prevention tips that we put out for people to try and look at ways that they can make their vehicles less vulnerable to being stolen. There's initiatives going on right across the city where we have crime prevention officers in every division that we ask people to reach out to those officers. They can talk to them individually or collectively in community meetings. So there are a number of initiatives that are taking place.
Hello, Superintendent. Jason Miller, Toronto Star. So I've been covering this issue for the last several months, covering various stories around this, including carjackings and food delivery and transportation workers and so forth. We've seen some themes evolving around young people. You see more and more mention of people under the age of 18 being charged with this. Did you see any of those themes playing up in this 200 plus folks that have been charged in terms of our younger members of our community getting involved? And can you speak to that?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's very true. It seems there are younger and younger people, young offenders that are being involved in these thefts. And being perfectly honest, this all revolves around money. And it's a lucrative business for people. They're being resold. They're being shipped overseas. They're being revinned. There's all kinds of things that are taking place. So it's very lucrative. And, you know, our initiatives are to target the groups that are actually involved in these schemes.
So from the work that I've been doing over the last several weeks, it seems as if there's a mixture of themes playing out here when it pertains to young folks. And I come back to that theme. I know it might not be a key part of what you're discussing today, but when you talk about kind of crimes of opportunity, as well as some of the social structures that exist for young people, but some folks are saying many of the young people who are participating aren't as organized as we might tend to believe. What are you seeing around that? Are they a part of these organized groups based on what you've seen with Project Stallion, or are they kind of just loosely participating in auto thefts as opportunities when they do see them?
So it's really it's a two-part answer, because some are just individual thefts, we'll call them. Others are more organized. So both of those things are true. But young people are definitely involved in these things.
Okay.
Can you just reiterate
We've been listening to Toronto Police update the media on results of Project Stallion. This is an auto theft investigation that has resulted in 553 charges against 228 people. 1,080 vehicles have been recovered at a value of $60 million, and there's still a lot more work to be done.